So you're buying a home for the first time. Well, first and foremost, congratulations. There are tons of videos out there that go into how to buy a home and all the steps that you need, how to get your offer accepted, and how to be pre-qualified. Shoot, I've made videos on pretty much all of those topics as well, so check those out when you have a chance. But what we're talking about is what can go wrong when you buy a property. As a real estate agent, it's my job to prepare my clients for what they don't know and the potential pitfalls going into a home purchase. Not to scare them, but to prepare them. Real estate transactions are riddled with unforeseen circumstances, and knowing how to respond to those circumstances can be the difference between a successful closing and a failed one. So in this video, I talk about the 3 most common deal killers and what you could do to fix them or avoid them completely. Hey, if we're just meeting for the first time, my name is Vargas from the Vargas team, and I share with you all things real estate related, so consider subscribing if that's something that you're interested in. So jumping right into the first deal killer is the inspection. The real estate graveyard is filled with failed attempts that never made it past the inspection period. And for those of you unaware, the inspection period, or the due diligence as it's sometimes referred to, is when the buyer acquires more information on the property as soon as their offer has been accepted. Look, this is very broad because it can cover pretty much any information as to the property, the neighborhood, the type of school districts, and the type of zoning, and pretty much anything else that you can think of to look into the property. But mainly, it just consists of the actual inspection of the home, usually conducted by a third-party inspection company. It is during this inspection period that most contracts will allow you, the buyer, to cancel without penalty, and of course that means you get your deposit back. Now, you want to confirm this with your realtor and your real estate attorney, but in most instances, this is the fail-safe period, if you will. Now, keep in mind that this inspector is paid to outline the condition of the property and will detail a list of items that are wrong with the property. So even with brand new built homes, believe me, they're going to find something wrong with it. And if you ask me, the main reason why the inspection period can either make or break a deal is due to one word: fear. Home buying is scary enough. With all the talks of down payments, closing costs, and the responsibility of becoming a brand new homeowner, it's easy to see why someone could be persuaded not to move forward with the home purchase once they receive a list of items that need to be addressed with the home. Remember, you're not getting a report that highlights the positives of the home. No, just the negatives. So it's easy to lose sight of the reasons as to why you fell in love with the home in the first place. The best thing you could do in this situation is to be realistic. You as a home buyer need to come into terms with the fact that buying a home with no issues is virtually impossible. And inspectors are always looking to cover their end, so any issue that ever has a remote possibility of becoming a problem somewhere in the distant future, oh, you better believe that that's going to be in their inspection report. So managing your expectations as to what to inspect in the inspection report is crucial. Instead of looking for an inspection with 0 issues, the better question you should be asking yourself is, can I live with the present issues the property is exhibiting? Every home buyer had to go through this process, and the overwhelming majority of them turned out okay, and their houses did not collapse on them after they moved in. So statistics are on your side, my friend. Did they have to fix the home and do certain things to the home after they moved in? Sure, but you budget for these expenses and you tackle them as they come. The second deal killer is the appraisal. Whereas the inspection confirms the condition of the property, the appraisal confirms the property's value. A quick breakdown as to how the appraisal can become an issue for the buyer is when the purchase price is more than the appraised value. If the lender appraises the property to be worth a certain amount, then that is the amount that they're going to use and base the loan amount on. In other words, the difference between the lender's value and what the home purchase is actually under contract for is going to come out of somebody's pocket. Of course, you can always appeal the appraised value should it come back too low, but good luck with that. You have a better chance of the seller just giving you the home for free. It can also be said that a low appraisal opens the door to a retrade and having the owner lower the purchase price to match the appraised value, which of course would only benefit you, the buyer. But the problem becomes when you're dealing with an unreasonable seller who's not willing to lower the price to match the appraised value, meaning you have to come up with the difference or walk away from the deal. The best thing you could do when it comes to appraisals is to have your real estate agent run a comp analysis prior to submitting an offer. When sending an offer for one of my clients, I love to provide them with this analysis as it outlines the sales, otherwise known as comps, within the last 6 months. This report gives you the best indicator as to what the property should appraise for. That way we're not going into the deal blind. In my experience, these reports have saved me and my clients a lot of time and a lot of headaches when it comes time for the lender's appraisal because we have a much better idea as to what it's likely going to come in at. Be prepared for the reality that the appraisal may come in for less than the purchase price, and have a game plan with your real estate agent as to how you want to proceed should that happen. If you cannot reach a resolution with the seller, then walking away from the deal may be your only choice, but having a game plan beforehand greatly increases your chances of finding a resolution. And lastly, the last deal killer is the loan denial. During the process of buying a home, your lender is likely working very diligently to meet and clear all the conditions for you to qualify for the home purchase. This, in many cases, is the last hoop that you as a homeowner need to jump through before crossing the finish line and signing those closing docs. Obtaining the lender's commitment letter, as it's referred to in the state of Florida, usually happens 5 to 10 days out from your closing date. And if you do not obtain this approval letter, then it can cost you the deal. Although not likely that this is going to occur so close to your closing date, it has happened where people have been denied. So a lot of the times it's attributed to avoidable circumstances, pertaining more to the buyer more than anything else. The biggest factor attributing to a loan denial comes down to any changes in your financial picture from the time that you applied for the loan. So the obvious thing to say to avoid this is don't change anything and try to keep everything the same from the time that you applied. This means don't take out any new credit, don't get into a new car lease or new car loan, don't rack up any more charges on your credit cards. And also, if you can avoid any changes in your job or financial picture, if possible until after closing, go ahead and do that. Look, it sounds simple and it sounds obvious, but I've seen these small, seemingly insignificant changes have such a big dramatic effect on what many people consider their biggest financial purchase in their lifetime. So you want to take them pretty serious. Look, there's a ton of other real estate steps to be aware about, but if you can avoid these 3 pitfalls and deal killers, you'll be well on your way to a successful closing. Learn more real estate tips by clicking on any of the videos listed here, and don't forget to support the channel by liking this video and sharing my content with someone you know. That way I could keep making these videos for all of you guys out there. And guys, thank you again for watching, and until next time.